Hello and welcome back to another Funkoverse tier list video. We are live on Twitch TV right here. Pow, right here. Come to my channel, come say hi, come be a part of the video. Yeah, we're here live doing this video right now, so come say hi, come follow, come sub. Today's tier list, we're gonna mess with some Harry Potter stuff. Let's go take a look. Down here is where before we're gonna look at today. But here's the tier list as we have it so far. Ari and Rose up here at the top. Last tier list, I believe we did Nightmare Before Christmas. These guys rounded out the bottom of my A. But today we're going to look at Harry Potter, Hermione, Draco, and Ron Weasley. Let's pull them up. Look at all these handsome Brits. Look at them all, they're so handsome. These sets are, they come in 3 different sets. There's a Harry Potter 100, 101, and 102. 2 of them are 4-packs, and these 2 right here come in the 102 set by themselves. I don't really care. We're just going to throw them in the tier list how I like them, and we're going to do the students today and probably the teachers next time, because there's enough teachers to do a normal video too. But let's take a look at our first subject today. We've got Harry Potter. Harry Potter is blue-yellow with a defense of 2. His trait is the boy who lived. While Harry is knocked down and defends against a challenge, one hit on a die to a shield. Oh, okay. Change 1 hit to a die on a shield after his defense roll is made. Okay, so if Harry Potter's on the map, let's lock the map. Oh, it is locked. Okay. So if Harry's on the map, right, and say Hermione is challenging him, if he starts the challenge down, so she challenges him, what's she get? A hit. What does he roll? Well, he rolled pretty good. But let's just say that he rolled this right here. He rolled double hit. Technically he would lose because she got a hit and he got 0, but since he's down, his trait lets you flip 1 hit to a shield on defense. So I'm not sure how to quite flip it. There you go. So it would flip to the shield. So no matter what, if you roll 0, you automatically roll a 1 defense while Harry's down. It's a pretty good trait. I mean, there's a lot of other traits that don't really do too much, like we'll say Kool-Aid Man's Rubble tokens on maps that don't have walls. But Harry Potter's trait is almost always used every single game. It's very useful. Extra defense. Sometimes you roll bad rolls and you need that extra defense, and it's for free. I mean, just because it's his trait, it's pretty nice. Alright, Harry Potter's first ability is Flipendo. It's a yellow 4. Challenge 3 to all adjacent rivals that you may move each target 1 square. So it's an AoE challenge 3. These 2 are my rivals, and then you can move them 1 square. It's not a push or a pull, it's a move. So you can really put them anywhere. It's any direction, as long as they can move there. You can't move through walls, obviously, but you can move them in any direction. You can move them towards you, away from you. Just move them. If they were adjacent, they are no longer that now. Pretty good move. I think AoE and movement is definitely worth a 4. There's not many moves that have a 4 cost, and man, an AoE challenge 3 and a movement turn ability is just crazy. His second ability here is Expelliarmus, right? Expelliarmus. I'm not a wizard or British, so I mean, I'd have to do a little bit more studying at Hogwarts to probably say that, but it's a range 3 challenge 2. Take an item card from the target, place it on the 2 of their cooldown. So it's a range 3 challenge 2. So as long as you're within 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then you have line of sight. If she was here, you wouldn't. This wall would block you, but since she's here, pow, you can zap her. Range 3, 2 dice challenge, and then if she had an item If you're playing the game with attachments, say she had the basketball, you get to take the basketball and put it on the 2 of your opponent's cooldown. You get to snatch their item right out of their pocket, which is it's pretty good. I mean, if somebody's really messing around with like the whip, if you're playing against Joker Whip, or I'm not 100% sure, like somebody with the crit. What is it? Felix Felicius. If somebody has this, and you know they're going to challenge you, you can take their item right out of their pocket, and they can't do nothing about it. It's your item now. Not necessarily. I mean, it's on the cooldown, but you know what I mean. Harry Potter with a 1 yellow move here is Protego. Pick an ally Harry can see within 3 squares. Give them the Protego status card, and that is +2 defense, which is nuts. So as long as you're within 3 squares of an ally, you spend 1 yellow and you give bonus defense to whatever, whatever allies on your team you're giving it to. And you can hand 2 of these out. So usually you play 3v3. I add this extra card over here just for fun's sake, but normally you play 3v3, so in 1 turn you can move. I mean, what is it? Do you get a move with it? Okay, so you don't get a move, but if you're within line of sight of your 2 allies, you can just spend 2 yellow and give both your allies +2 defense. It doesn't say anything about stacking either. So technically, I believe you can give somebody double Protego. I think that's how Cheeseman says it, Protego. I like the Protego pronunciation. But it doesn't say anything about non-stacking, so I'm pretty sure you can double stack somebody and give them +4 defense if you wanted, which is pretty nuts if you think about it. If you have the shark on your team, you can give them 8 defense for at least one defending roll, because you discard after defending. So you'd only get the 4 defense once. So you couldn't technically use 2 defense and 2 defense on the second roll. You'd have to use all 4 defense and run 1 roll, but maybe they only get 1 attack and you really need to defend it. 4 defense is pretty huge. And that's Harry Potter. Defense, man, he's got some really good moves. Maybe I underplay Harry Potter. Man, he's good. He can't really stand himself up, but I don't know if you can get him into, like, have Black Panther, who's also blue-yellow, move him into spots, and then Pendo and take the items. Man, he's good. Maybe I need to play some more Harry Potter. Kermit, please. What's up, Flannel? Welcome. Try to do this tier list, Harry Potter tier list. We just looked at the crazy Harry Potter that I underplay. Let's look. Oh, let's look at Hermione, who I also underplay. I don't really play too much Hermione. Let's take a look at her. She is gray-yellow. She's a 1 defense, but she's a loyal friend. Adjacent allies cannot be knocked out while Hermione is standing. So if Hermione's here in the territory, because this is territories, if Hermione's here, and we'll call Harry her friend and Ron the enemy, Ron can't kill Harry Potter. He can't knock Harry Potter out without tipping Hermione. So as long as Hermione's standing, none of her allies get knocked out. So she's pretty good in territories, I would say. If you have somebody that's like a high damage character like Agritsuko or maybe Arya, and she's in the territory, and you're just desperately trying to keep her alive, having Hermione here adjacent in a territory to keep her alive is huge. So somebody has to waste turns trying to attack Hermione. And if you're playing with somebody like Harry Potter and she's got bonus defense, or you're playing like a Rose match where if somebody has Rose here too and they have friendship, so you've got the friendship and you got to knock Hermione over. So there's some really good combos you can do with this in territory. I don't see her being too good in flags. Maybe not too good in control. In leaders, maybe pretty good in leaders. Maybe you can put her in like a room with your leader, and they have to go after Hermione first to get to your leader in order to score extra points. I'm not 100% sure how crazy good she'd be in leaders, but Let's take a look at the rest of her abilities, see if she's got some something to go with that little defensive trait. She's got a 2 gray called Impedimenta. Range 3, challenge 2. If you win, also shift one of your opponent's ability tokens up 1 on the cooldown. Okay, so range 3 is always good. Being able to stay away from somebody and zap them for 2. I mean, 2 is a little weak, but it's only a 2 cost. So, range 3, challenge 2, and then if you win, only if you win. Let's see if I win. Ron, what's your defense like? Can you beat 2? Oh, you can. So I lost. So I wouldn't be able to move a token up on my opponent's cooldown. But if I won, you get to move it up. That's it. Pretty simple. It's nice though, gives her a little range. Maybe you're in the territory and you're holding it with Harry and people are trying to come in, so you're zapping them as they're trying to get in. A 3 yellow, Descendo. Shift all ability tokens on your cooldown track down 1 number. Okay. So technically it's a 2 cost yellow because you pay the token first. Say you had some tokens on here. So you pay your Descendo token first, and then you read the card, which is shift everything down. So technically for a 2 yellow, you get to move everything down 1. Not bad. If you're really, like, I have trouble getting reds off the cooldown track when I play like a red-yellow team. So maybe I take Hermione in like a 3rd spot to try to shift everything down 1. Because if you had 2 yellows, you could do it twice. So you would, how would that look? You would spend the token, shift everything down, and then you would spend the token, and then shift everything down. So technically you move everything down 2 for a 2 and a 1 yellow. I'm not sure how that would work in gameplay or if that'd be worth it, but something to think about. It's not a bad move. Cooldown manipulation is always good to have. Let's see, her 3rd ability, Axio. That's how you say it, with a little extra axe in it. I know it's not Accio. That's whack. Pick an ally or token Hermione can see that is within 3 squares. Place it adjacent to Hermione. Alright. So does she have to see? Yeah, Hermione can see. Okay, so yes. Okay, so say these 2 are allies, and you're desperately trying to get Ron into the territory, but you're also trying to take C. On Ron's turn, you take C, and then move him out so Hermione can see him, and then you use Axio to bring him in. It's like it's a helpful lifting tool. Within 3 squares is pretty crazy. So if you have Hermione in the base, and Ron died, and this is your starting area, so you can move him out 1, 2, 3, 4, and you really want him in here, so you could use Axio to bring him in. It's almost as good as Black Panther's Wakanda Forever, so you could technically, it's pretty much the same thing. You can move an ally 3 squares, 1, 2, 3 with Wakanda Forever, or you could bring him in with Axio. I mean, Axio is a little worse because Wakanda Forever, you don't need any type of line of sight. It's very good. Axio is very good, don't get me wrong. But it's not as good as Wakanda Forever. But Wakanda Forever costs 3, I believe. So the line of sight makes it cost 1 less, which is fair trade. That's a great move. Any type of yellow movement's always good. She's better than I think she is. I think her 1 defense kind of makes her a little weak, but she's not bad. Alright, let's look at this red-haired monster. This ginger goblin, I guess. I'm trying not to pick too bad of a word for gingers. Ron is a blue-yellow animal. He has 2 defense, And if Ron is standing, an ally that shifts off the cooldown track may be placed adjacent to him. Alright, so if Ron's in the territory, right, and we sacrifice Hermione, Draco comes in here, right? He's the enemy. He knocks down Ron, but he can't kill Ron because he has to kill Hermione. So he kills Hermione, right? And then Ron stands himself up, and it's the end of the round. So as long as Ron is standing, a person coming off, an ally coming off the cooldown can go right back here. So Draco just wasted his whole turn trying to knock Ron and killing Hermione, but it doesn't matter because Ron can bring her right back. Ron is a team player. I don't know what they were thinking when they thought about making Ron, but that trait is ridiculous. Especially with his 3 other abilities that we're going to get to, you'll slowly see why Ron is probably one of the better characters in the game. But just being able to, no matter what the spaces are, say we're playing flag, and Ron is outside the base, and Hermione, or Draco's defending, right? We got the flag in here. Hermione just died to Draco trying to score. As long as Ron is standing outside the base, you can bring Hermione back right here. And now Draco's got to deal with both of them coming in. You know, that trait, a lot like Catwoman's trait, where she can go anywhere that isn't seen. It's a crazy trait. Or Bellatrix. Bellatrix can go back to, we'll get to her in another video, but she can come off the cooldown track and be placed next to an ally. Man, Ron, that's a nice trait, buddy. What else you got to go with it? You've got a 4 yellow Renervate. Up to 2 allies may do a basic action, limited to once per turn. This is probably one of the best moves in the game. Ron's on the board. You've got Hermione as an ally and Draco as an ally, right? So if you use Renervate, you can have 2 allies on the map do basic actions. So let's define ally real quick. So anything with a defense, like a minion with a defense, Sally's arm has a defense. Even the zombies for the Night King, even though the defense is 0, technically they still have a defense. So anything with a defense is an ally. I'm trying to think of something that doesn't have a defense. Drogon. So say you're pairing Ron with Daenerys, and you have Drogon on the board. Drogon is not technically an ally. He is just a token. So you can't renovate Drogon, but you could renovate the snake. So you spend the yellow 4. Just anything that's a minion token. The raptor things are not allies. Okay, yeah, the ambush tokens. Alright. Since they don't move, they're technically just kind of, they are just tokens, right? Yeah. Okay, so minion tokens only with a defense can do stuff. So what I'm trying to get, the point of all of my words are, you can make 2 allies do something. You can have the snake, even though the snake has no ability on Draco's card at all to interact with anything. With Renervate, you can make it do a basic action, which is any of these: move, challenge, assist, interact, or rally. Or you can't really rally because it needs 2 actions. But you can make the snake interact with something, even though it's not even in the snake's normal kit. You can make the snake interact with D. You can make Hermione interact with B. You can also do this with control markers. If you guys ever play Control, you can make the snake flip control points. You can make people flip control points. Renervate is crazy. That's probably there's no line of sight. The only thing that kind of holds it back is you can only do it once per turn. But at that point, you've already split. You get you get 2 actions per turn, and that technically gives you 3 actions per turn. So you're already giving out an extra action. So you've pretty much doubled your ability turns just for spending the renovate, which is crazy. If you're playing a team that doesn't have a lot of actions to spend, like an Iron Man, or maybe a Rose who gets extra actions, or an Arya who gets extra actions, giving people across map the ability to flip control markers is crazy. Ron's probably the best control character in the game just because he can remotely have his teammates do interacts. If you're ever playing control and you see Ron, and if you're playing like random control, take Ron every time. You have to. He's so good on control. Leaders, he's not amazing. With the renovate, I mean, it gives you maybe some extra basic attacks, or maybe it can help you move people. But renovate doesn't really help you in leaders. In flags, it helps you get extra movement, so it's good in flags. I would say the only game type that Renovate is not crazy good in is leaders. Ron's second ability is Stupefy. Range 3, challenge 3, and the only thing is the target must be standing, and its only cost is 2. A range 3, challenge 3, and it costs 2? Range 3, challenge 2, and it costs 2? So what would I rather have? The challenge be a 3 and the person standing, or the challenge be a 2 and I get to shift an ability token if I win? You know, it's tough. Both moves are very good. You can see how they compared they made it very fair. A gray 2 and a blue 2. I feel like both abilities are very fair. I mean, it's good. I mean, being able to just knock somebody over from 3 away, and 3 dice is really good too, so I'm not knocking that move at all. Ron's third and final ability is Reducto. Choose a token Ron can see within 3 squares, remove it from the map. This is BS right here. He's the only person in the game who can do this. He can any token in the game, so if the snake's out here, or if Drogon is out here, if the arm is out here, anything, you pay 1 blue, which is crazy cheap, and you just banish it. Get out of here. Remove it from the map, making Draco have to spend a 3 gray. We'll get to him, but he has to spend to put the snake back down. It doesn't really seem like it's too crazy to just be able to remove something from the map. But if somebody's setting up ambush tokens on you, or if somebody is playing Sally with the arm, anything, you just remove it from the map. Just, okay, your games are done. It's crazy that they gave him this move. Out of all the people in the game, they gave him Renovate, they gave him Reducto, and they gave him that team player, and they made him a 2 defense. Ron's insane. I don't know why they did it, but Ron's crazy, and he's cheap. If you play like a Doc Brown, and you spin and get your yellow back every turn, man. Renovate and Ron, what a crazy guy. Let's look at our last character here. We got Draco Malfoy. Draco Malfoy is a gray-blue character. He has 1 defense, and his trait is Nemesis. Draco and the Serpent minion token roll 1 extra dice when challenging rivals that are knocked down. Okay, so in kind of opposite mirror effect to Harry Potter, who gets the extra defense, Draco gets extra offense when people are knocked down. So if Harry was knocked down and Draco was attacking Harry, he would get 3 dice on a basic challenge because he gets that extra challenge. Oh, dang. Alright, Harry, can you defend yourself? Let's just play for fun. What do we got? Oof. Okay, so with Harry's trait being down, he would get this turned into a shield, but it still wouldn't be enough, and Harry would die. Sorry, Harry. Get wrecked. You think they're typos? They should be swapped? I agree. I think Ron should have 1 defense. He's so powerful. But Draco's not terrible. Let's take a look at what he's got here. So you get an extra dice when challenging against knockdown rivals. And then you've got Serpent Sorsha. Place a Serpent minion token in a square Draco can see within 2. And then when Draco becomes exhausted, the Serpent may do a challenge 2 or move 3. Okay, so just like white minions or Sally's Arm, you pay 3 gray to drop your snake, your slippery 2 defense snake. And once again, you can block doorways. People can't, it takes up a whole square. It's an ally or a rival. So it takes up doorways and can block people and do all that fun stuff that you like to do against me. But you drop the snake, and then whenever Draco becomes exhausted, the snake can do a challenge 2. So I don't know. Fight your master. What'd you get? Nothing. Yeah, see, you can't bite your master. Or you can move 3. 1, 2, 3. Block A from somebody. Say Hermione's here. You drop the snake, and then you move 1, 2, put her here, so Hermione can't get in here to get the point. She'd have to move, attack, win the attack against the 2 defense snake, which is harder than it looks, I promise you. And then get in here again next turn and take A. So really, placing the snake here costs somebody a whole turn from being able to walk in and take this. Just being able to block doorways is such a nightmare. Minion tokens are rough. Okay, so after we've dropped the snake, what can we do? We can Averte Statum, range 3, challenge 2. If you win, you may move the target 2 squares. Okay, so range 3. All these guys kind of have range 3s. Expelliarmus, Impedimenta, Stupefy, they all have range 3. The wand looks like it's got about a range of 3. That's about as far as the wand will let you cast. But with his range 3, it's a challenge 2, and if you win, you may move the target 2 squares. So if you want, you can move him towards you. You can move him away from you. So technically, if you're, say Hermione's trying to get into here, and she's here, you can zap her, and what was it, 2 squares, right? You can move her 2, and then zap her again, and then move her another 2, right? Or is it if you win? Ooh, but if you would win twice, she'd be dead. So, I don't know, being able to move somebody as opposed to just having to push, or just being able to pull, move is a crazy good keyword. If you find people who can just move, instead of having, like, to push or pull, it's a lot better. To be honest, I think Averte Statum, even though it's only a challenge 2, I think it's better than Stupefy. I think it's better than Impedimenta. I think it's better than Harry's Expelliarmus. I think Averte Statum, the movement, I think is the best one. Oh, we got a stretch. I got a stretch. Oh, chat requested stretch. All right, thanks, chat. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, I think that is the best wand move of the 4. I'll give him that for sure. Let's look at his last ability. Hominum Revelio. Choose an ally Draco can see within 3 squares. Place Draco adjacent to the ally. Okay, so instead of Axio, we have Hominum. So instead of placing it like with Hermione using Axio, placing Draco next to Hermione, you would have to pick Hermione and place Draco next to Hermione this way using this one. So instead of Hermione bringing people to her, Draco brings himself to people. That's how I'm understanding it, right? So he could bring himself over here. He could bring himself over here. He can zap himself to people instead of her doing all the hard work and lifting. Ooh, dragging his big head over here. It's still a good move. It's 2 blue versus 2 yellow. Which one would be better? Being able to move yourself towards somebody or having somebody move you to them? I guess it depends on just how you want to use your actions. Because, I mean, you could have Hermione bring him in here, and then he could fight twice, but then she loses an action. Or you could do it his way, where he brings himself in here, and then he fights. You know, it's tough. Which it just depends on who you want to be the one doing the movement. Personally, I'm more of a blue player than a yellow player, but it's tough to say what would be better. I think it's about equal. It's about 50-50, right? Either way, you're getting Draco into the spot. And you have to have an ally in the spot to do it. I guess it doesn't really matter. Can't really think too much about that one. It's comparable. Alright, we got him up. So let's take a look at the tier list. Let's put him in here. Harry Potter with the defense and the... He's A for sure. He can't give the defense to himself. Is he? I think he's better than the Joker. Is he better than Batgirl's movement? I think he is. Is his defense? I think, is he better than the Night King though? The Night King has range. Man, it's tough to say. He can't stand himself up, but he has the... Oh man, Quint is good. I like Quint, but still too high. You think Quint's too high? Quint can stand himself up. He has the range. He doesn't, and he has movement. But do you think he's down here maybe? You think he's too expensive? Okay, I agree with that. Maybe I didn't quite quantify cost. I mean, Alice can't stand herself up, and all she can... If you knock Alice down, it's over for Alice. You just got to keep her down. She can't move. She can't do anything. All she can do is keep placing the rabbit if she's down. Harley Quinn, at least when she stands up, she gets an attack. Joker, when he dies, he drops the bomb. Batgirl has really good movement, and flying tackle is awesome. And she's cheap. So maybe Harry Potter right here. Maybe I don't play him enough. I play Agretsuko more. Maybe I play her more. Yeah. I think that looks good right there. That's a good start. Hermione. Hermione with the one defense. She can Accio people. Oh man, what was it? She can't knock people out when she's standing next to them. Impedimenta. I think Impedimenta's weak. I think Descendo is okay. I think Accio is her best move. And her trait is really good with one defense. I don't think she's that great. I think maybe she's a B. I think I take Catwoman over. I think I take Cheetah over. Maybe she's in here with the Golden Girls. Maybe she's in the bottom of the Golden Girls. Maybe she's better than the Queen of Hearts because the Queen of Hearts is a pain to use sometimes. In some game types, you just never get angry. Thanos doesn't have enough movement and he's too expensive. Maybe Jack is better than I think he is. He isn't? No? Okay. So I think I got when I did when I did his video, I think I put him down here for a reason. I can't remember what it was, but Hermione's not bad. Her trait and Accio make her good. But man, she really doesn't have any offense. She really doesn't have any offense. The Queen has a little offense. Ooh, it's tough. I think this is a flip-flop right here. I think it could go either way. I think Draco... Oof. Serpent Sorcia's good. The Serpent's really good. Verte Statum is the best to cost. And Hominum Revelio is just as good as Axio, so I think Draco's way better than Hermione. Where did I drop him? You said Sophia's the best one? Okay, I can agree with that. I think these are all interchangeable right here. I think Draco is actually up here somewhere. I think Draco is A. I think Draco's an A. I'd rate Hermione and Draco about equal. Really? I think the Serpent is better than... Depends on game... Okay. Yeah. So Draco might be better in like a flag game type or control because you can get the Serpent out. Man, that's tough though. You don't think Draco's better? You don't think the extra dice when people are down? Oh, the Serpently definitely gives Draco the slight edge overall. Okay, yeah. Between the two. But you don't think Draco is really that good? You don't think he's above like maybe you think he's above Catwoman or Cheetah? Catwoman's movement makes her good, but she's a glass cannon. At least Draco has some bang for his buck. But do you think he's worse than you think he's down here? I think his trait makes him really good. I think the snake makes him good. I think his trait makes him good. I think he has the best casting. I think Verte Statum is the best of the 4 casters here. Being able to move somebody 2 squares if you win. Top of B would be my take. Choose an ally Draco could see. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Maybe he's better than Cheetah. I mean, the Cheetah's tough too, but her attack is definitely, you have to have a point marker on your cooldown. So yeah, maybe top of B. Ron, it's not even a question. Ron, yeah, he's a B+ for Draco, but Ron's S+. He's ridiculous. If I was like Max Mofo and I did like song breakdowns, it would just be like some like hardcore dubstep right now when you drop the Ron in. You know, yeah, nodders, 100%. He's too broken. He's got a really good trait. Renovate's like the best move in the game. Stupefy is really good. Even though the target has to be standing, being able to knock somebody down for 2 is nuts. Reducto is the only... It's the only move like that in the game. Nobody else can remove tokens from the map. All his abilities are good. His trait are good. He's so good. That was everybody, right? We did Draco, Harry, Ron, Hermione. So of the 4, Hermione ends up in mid B, Draco top B. Harry Potter somewhere, he'll probably end up mid to upper A. He's a defensive animal. He's a monster. You give somebody the +2 defense and then you zap away. Yeah. And Ron's up here S+. Too easy. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Like, follow, subscribe. Catch me over on Twitch. You know, that's where we're at. Catch me over on Twitch. Lucky rolling.